Hello and welcome to this Android development tutorial set brought to you by North Border Software. My name is Gary. This is part 9 of the Getting Started series. What we're going to do is look at adding a little bit of colour to the buttons now. These default themes which are available in Android from Honeycomb and the Hello themes, the buttons can be a little bit dull and a little bit grey. There's going to be times when you want to add some colour and some customized designs to these sort of views. We're going to look at a couple of techniques. This tutorial, well, in the next tutorial, we're going to look at the 9-patch bitmap, but in this one, we're going to look at a very simple way of actually defining some very attractive colorized buttons with some graduated colors and also different states, hold down states. What we're going to do is use the drawable state list. Now I'll put a link on the website so you can see what the state list is, but it allows you to define a design of a button for a different state. So it would be like a normal state or a press down state or a hover state. There's quite a few different states you can use. So what we need to do first of all is design a selector file. The selector will have a couple of items in there. Each will reference a separate file with the design for each of the button states. So we're going to use two states, a normal and then a press state. So the easiest way to explain it really is to just simply build it. So if I right click on the drawable folder and I want to put a new drawable resource file in there, okay, and we will give this a name which will be button background.xml, and that's great. That's really all we need to do for the moment. It should come up with the selector already built in. So what we need to do is just go straight on and add the items in. So it'll be an item and it'd be Android drawable. Now what this is going to do is call on the file for the press state first of all. So if I do at drawable, and it'll be, we'll call it button pressed. So that file doesn't exist at the moment. Now what we need to do now is actually put the reference of state in there. So you can see all these states have come down here, and it'll be hopefully we'll find an Android states pressed. That's the one we want, and we make that true. So Android Studio really does make this very easy for you. Okay, so that's all we need to do for that. What we'll do now is just add another item as well. Okay, and this will be for the normal state. So it'll be another drawable file, and it'll be at drawable button normal. So we've got some errors here because we haven't defined those files yet. We need to write those in the next bit. Because it's a normal state, we don't need to add anything else. So it'll just be simple as that. So that is the selector file built. So we'll just save that. Okay. So we're finished with that for the moment. What we'll do, we'll just add another new file in there as well now. So it's be new drawable resource file, and what we need to do is put the we'll do with the normal one first. So button underscore normal.xml. Okay, button.normal.xml, just to make sure that matches, that's fine. So again, we've got a selector in here, so we've got quite a little bit to do for this. So what we'll do is just work through. First of all, we need to put an item in there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is define a shape. This will be the shape for the button. I'll get it all in and then we'll explain what we can do afterwards. So shape. Okay, so underneath the shape we now need to put the characteristics for the button. Now I'm going to give this a graduated background. So if I just open this and put gradients, Okay, now I have to define the gradient characteristics. So I'll set the angle at 270 degrees. I'll go through all the details of this afterwards. Android. We're going to put some an end color in here, and we'll set that to give it a value hex 86 95 A6, which is a kind of a blue color, a little darker blue than what we've got for the background already. Okay, so that's the end color. We need a start color as well. So just define a start color, and the start color, let's just think of a value. So it'll be hex 202F40. So it's kind of in the same sort of tone, but obviously different shade, so we can get some gradients there. Okay, so that's the gradient characterized. What we can do now is we need to define. I'm going to define a boundary for the button, an outline, if you like, and that's referred to as a stroke. So I can call up stroke here, and the stroke will be Android width. And you can see all these parameters you can use and explore as well, and I'll make that just 1 dp. So that's just a stroke that goes around the corner, and they need to give that a color as well. So it's Android color. What we need to, I forgot to put the, what's there, Android color, and we'll make that equal to I think we'll just make that a kind of a dark grey, light, yeah, dark grey too. So that will do there. Okay, so that's that one. Put that in inverted commas. Okay, so that's the colour of the strokes. That's the outline set to one of those as well. We're going to make this a rounded button, so we're going to give it some corners. This is the sort of thing you can do. So corners, and we'll make it. You can make each. You can dress each corner in turn, but I'm just going to do them all the same for the moment. We need to give this. You can see you've got bottom left radius, bottom right radius. Top right, and just give the whole thing the same radius. So I'm just going to select that one there. So you've got high degree of customization. It's going to go there. So I'm just going to pick a random 13 dps for that, and again I can just close that off. So another thing we can do is actually give the button some padding around the text, so the text isn't just sitting right to the edges. So we can call up the padding. And we can give this, you can see these, you specify each padding individually. So we'll start with the bottom, and we'll just give that 13 dp, and we'll call the left, and we'll give that 54 dp. And we'll call the right, and we'll call that 54 dp, and finally the top, we'll just give that a value of 13 dp. So that's all we need to do. So you can see here what we've done. We've given the button rounded corners with an outline and a graduated background. There are different forms of gradients. There's this is a linear gradient. You can give this a radial gradient, gradient as well. You can define the center of that. With the linear ones here, you can define the angles. You can also define a mid color. We've only used an end color, start color here, but we can also define a mid color as well. So I'll just format that. Control and keep that there. Okay, good. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to select most of this because there's only a few changes we need to do for the next file. So okay, what we need to do is just define another drawable file as well, a resource file, and we'll give this the name button pressed. XML. Okay. And you see, you've got this selector again. Now I'm just going to paste most of this in because I don't want to repeat it all. Now all I'm going to do here is give this a solid background. So all we need to do is take this line out. We'll just change that with solid, and we need to just give that a colour. And the colour I'm going to give it is a kind of dark blue. So it'll be hash 022245. Okay, now I'm going to leave everything else the same because you can see the effect of that. So what I need to do is just save that. We've just got a couple of errors here, so I'll just what I've done, I've not closed off properly, so I'll just close those off. Okay, so Control-Alt-L, format that one. We'll just format that one as well. So now you see all the errors have actually disappeared. So what we need to do now in the activity is just to assign the background to that particular button. So all we need to do is say Android background, and what we're going to do is reference the file itself, and it was button background. So there we go. So what's happening here is that this is calling, this layout now is calling that button background selector. The selector has two states, which has a press state and normal state, so it would call those depending on how the button, the state of the button, whether it's pressed or not. We didn't actually need that selector file. We could have put both of these button states in a single big file and just called that file, but if you're running 4 or 5 states, that could get a little bit complicated to manage, so it's best to have this hierarchy calling the high level selector file, and then it calls the detail file in turn. Okay, so all we need to do is give that a run. Okay, so here you see the app has started, because you can see the graduated button here. So we can just test this. So you can see when you click on the button now, that just makes that darker. And just one other thing to mention, really, if you're defining buttons with a radius and various paddings, you'll need to scale the density pixels appropriately for each of the screen densities. So you'll have to define a separate file for the drawable resources for high density screens, medium density screens, and extra high density screens, and just scale those appropriately to make sure the button looks the same across different devices with different screen densities. The tutorial's gone on for quite a while now, so we'll call it a day. We'll look at the 9-patch images in the next one. That's another way of putting backgrounds to buttons and other views as well. So catch you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.